Hey guys, before I get into the Q&A, I did want to say that I have just been selected as a top 6 finalist for the J Fitnesswear Athlete Search. I've never entered any type of contest or anything like that, but there were over 400 entries, and I swear, like last night, I checked my phone a million times, even though the deadline was like 7 a.m. this morning. But I was announced as a top 6 finalist to become one of J Fitnesswear's newest athletes, and a bunch of opportunities to travel, to work with them and to help kind of spread their mission and their values, and that's to bring confidence to women everywhere. And it's such a great group of women, a company that I would really very proudly represent if I were to win this top spot. So basically the way that it goes is that 1 like equals 1 vote, and that's on Instagram. So I will put the link in the description box below for you to click on and vote for me if you do think that I deserve it, and that I would make a good candidate for their newest athlete. So I'll go on to the Q&A, but thank you guys for so much of your support, and without you I would not be flying to Cali, I would not be, you know, doing all these awesome things that I'm able to do because I have support of so many of you guys. So I love you guys, and now on to the Q&A so you can learn about prep things like food and lots of other random stuff. So I'll see you in the next clip. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's part of my bikini prep series for first-time competitors, novice competitors, advanced competitors, all of the competitors in the world. Welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a Q&A. This is a second Q&A I've done for this series, and I love them. You guys found them really helpful, so it's a good way for me to get these questions answered without having to do a whole video on them, when I can just kind of like go through them pretty fast. So I posted a picture on Instagram, and I got almost 200 comments on it, so we're gonna go through as many questions as we possibly can in this time span. Hopefully the video will not be too long because that's what seems to happen. So I'm gonna start at the bottom. I'm gonna do the most recent ones first and go up, and we'll get in as many as we can. If I've already answered them, I'm just gonna skip over them, and you can check out my other Q&A that probably covers it if I'm not answering it today. Another thing, I have half natural lighting and I have half box softbox lighting here today, so let me know what you think about the new setup, because we moved the couch and everything's a little bit different because I couldn't get the lighting right. So we'll see how this works, and I'll know when I'm editing if the lighting is terrible. So we're going to start with the first question. Rachel_getting fit. What's the hardest for you to give up during prep? Hardest thing for me to give up during prep? Probably the ability to drop anything and go do something, because I always have to have my food prepared. So that's the hardest thing to give up, is that I have to be very organized and planned out if I want to be doing things other than, you know, meal prep, gym, workouts, hangouts, Netflix, and chill. Tamer Time 87. Would you skip the competition if you felt you were not bringing a good package? I see larger girls compete and think to myself, wow, good for them, but also I wonder if this is even worth getting on stage in the first place. A lot of people have different reasons for why they compete, so you don't know everybody's story. So if you're competing for the right reasons, if you're competing for you, so say your goal is you've lost 50 pounds and this has just been a goal of yours because you wanted to lose that 50 pounds, getting on stage is like I made it, I did it, and it's not the end of the journey. And so I think a lot of people think they have to be perfect the first time they get on stage, or even the second time they get on stage, but there's always room for improvement. So it's up to you whether you are confident and comfortable in bringing whatever package it is to the stage on show day. Kendra Cartier. A lot of competitors drink wine prior to going on stage. Do you find this helpful? Some competitors drink wine because it dehydrates them, makes them dry out a little bit, but you have to be careful. So just experiment with your body and talk to your coach about it. I personally sometimes like to have a drink before I get on stage, but it really depends on the person. Sydney Withan_I, is there a specific time during the day to eat most of your carbs? especially on prep when timing your food is crucial. Yeah, around your workouts, eat your carbs around your workouts. If on low carb days, all of my carbs mostly, besides from vegetables, go around my workouts. Chills XO said, do you ever have to alter your perception of how you want to look based on the specifications required for the bikini class? I ask because I know they don't want your leg muscles to be huge, but hey, some girls might like that and have to cut down to judges' guidelines. This is something that you have to decide. Are you competing for you or are you competing to place? So if you're competing to place and to win, you do need to kind of do what it takes for the judges to like you. You can't get on stage and be like, but I like me this way, and expect them to feel the same way. So the judging is very subjective. It really depends on who shows up. So you could be the best bikini competitor out there that you know of, and then the day of the show, there's 10 other best bikini competitors out there that show up. The judging may be different because of who else shows up, so it always depends. If you are, this is a good point, if you are like super lean and everybody else that shows up that day is not as lean as you, you most likely will not place first because they're comparing you against everybody else. And the same goes for if you are relatively softer, curvier, and the majority of the people that show up are leaner, and you're being compared against who else shows up. So you really never know, so work your butt off and enjoy it, because day of the show, someone could just not like you because they don't like the color green with blonde hair. So be careful, like be protective of yourself. That's the theme. Liz Denise asked, when is the last time to have a cheat meal during prep before the event? You have no control or knowledge of when that's going to happen, when you're going to need that, until you are living it. So my first prep, I basically started cheat meals 3 weeks out from the show. I didn't do any cheat meals until then. And that was because I wasn't lean enough. Your body has to be at a point where you're lean enough that you will benefit from a refeed day or a cheat meal. And this time around, I haven't done any big refeeds just because it's the first show of the season. So it really just depends on your body. And I do think that you have to be at a certain level of leanness to benefit from a cheat meal. HH_Heart_fitness. Hi, Haley. She's one of my prep clients. What is the best option after doing your first show, competing once or twice a few weeks, a month later, or starting to increase your calories again? If you want to do multiple shows in a row, I definitely recommend it. I did my first ever show, and then 2 weeks later did another one, then I took some time, and then I did a couple in a row again. I think that it's really cool to do kind of back-to-back shows because you see your body change just from what it can do from a peak week, and then like a re-up of calories, like a refeed, maybe a break, but like an organized break for your body, and then jumping into like another peak week. I've always been amazed at what my body can do for that. And so I think it's fun to kind of get it all in a row, and then you can take a good long off season. I'm so sorry if I butcher your names. What's the availability of less common categories in the NBC, like teen class or over 50 class, etc.? I think that what you mean by that is that are there always these categories in shows, and that you just have to look on the website, contact the promoter for, because you may not have that option. This is a good place for me to explain novice and open. If I haven't done that already, I'll do it again. Novice is for people who have not, in the NPC at least, who have not placed first in open. So you can compete in open and novice, and I would always recommend that you do as many classes as you can. Yes, it's pricey, probably $90 per class, but you're spending so much money and all this time and effort, why not get on stage multiple times at one show? More stage experience, the judges will see you more, you'll definitely go out more confident the second time around, and that's generally in the open class, because novice generally goes first. So I'd say do them all if you can. If you can do a master's class, if you can do an under 23, which is what I have done. It was so cool. I got to go on stage twice because I can't do novice. So that's a good option. UA_Jenna Lee Fit. How long do you give yourself to eat whatever you want before you begin reverse dieting, and how do you stay motivated to stick to your reverse diet? This year, I had somebody else besides my normal prep coach do my reverse diet. My normal prep coach is my mother, so a lot of you guys know, I think you probably listened to a video a while back, and I was working with a different coach, Brandon, and he did my reverse diet, and it was so great because it wasn't my mom and it wasn't my normal prep coach, so I really stuck to it. Have someone else hold you accountable. Don't leave your coach for the reverse diet process. I think that's a big mistake a lot of people make. Yes, you will save money, but those people who stay with their coach through the reverse diet tend to do better, I have found. So how long do you give yourself to eat whatever you want before you begin reverse dieting? Honestly, I give myself Saturday night, show day, Sunday I'll probably eat if I'm traveling when I make it home, and then I start up my reverse on Monday, and then throughout the week, like maybe Tuesday night I'll go out for a dinner or a dessert, but I really try my best to stay close to the reverse diet as soon as possible. Bad at reading apparently. How the heck do you arch your back so much? Mine doesn't work like that. And what's the best thing to do? Okay. How do you arch your back like that so much? Flexibility. You need to work on mobility, flexibility, just as much as your lifts. I've said this before, you have to learn your body's mechanics, just like you do when you squat. Some people squat with their feet closer together, toes pointed out. The same thing goes for posing, but a lot of flexibility goes into posing. So you have to really make sure that your back is warmed up, flexible, and you practice holding those poses. FitNut77, what do the judges look for with posing, and how do you get the practicing down for that? The judges look for in bikini specifically, they look for overall presentation, beauty. There's like a whole list on the NPC website about what the judges look for, but it's the total package. So think about why they love Ashley Kaltwasser so much, because she is just the total package. Does someone have, you know, more developed legs or something, or whatever the case may be? Yes, but you have to be the total package, and I think she really is just the total package, and that's why she keeps winning, and that's why she's Miss Bikini Olympia 3 times, Miss Bikini Olympia, because she's the total package. So the practicing of the posing, I said it in my latest vlog, you just have to practice over and over again. Learn your body, learn your mechanics. I can beat that into the ground, but find a routine that works for you and let it change as your body changes. Listen to your body. And that kind of helps bring your nerves down too. If you listen to your body, you're in tune with yourself, you'll always be good to go. Fitness Puma, post-show binging is probably the most difficult thing we competitors deal with. What's your advice regimen on how to control post-show eating? I did touch on this a little bit. Have a plan. Set a goal for yourself. Post-show is the most difficult time, so don't distance yourself from a coach. Don't distance yourself from people. Understand that trying to hold on to that body and holding on to it by barely adding calories back will eventually lead to, I mean, not for everybody, but I do believe that it will eventually lead to some sort of out of control, crazy rebound down the road. It may not be this season. It may not, you may have this crazy determination and focus for this one season, maybe next season, but it will catch up to you. So you have a healthy mindset. Set small goals for yourself and allow yourself not to be so tied into this physique that you've achieved, you've peaked for your competition season. I think competing is great, but it's very scary to me how many people are getting involved and how many people go at it like it's a very easy thing to just go and do, because there's so much mental strength and focus that you need to have in all aspects of your life after you compete. I really do believe that after you compete, you're never the same. You don't look at food the same way. You don't look at yourself the same way. So be careful. Be protective of yourself, and from there, you will be successful. I think that's all the questions that I'm going to answer right now. I'm going to answer some in the car, in the drive down to see Kenny at the Super Gym tomorrow with Marcus. Oops, just knocked this over. So I will check in with you guys in the car. There are a couple questions that I wanted to answer with him together. So that is what we're going to do, and I will see you in like a second. Hey guys, so I'm going to finish the questions from the Q&A that I started filming yesterday. I have Marcus in the car, and he's going to, there he is, going to help me answer some of these, anything that was kind of related to prepping with somebody, support system, all that stuff, because I did see a few of those. So I'm sorry if this is a little bit shaky. We're in the car, so I'm warning you now that it may be a little shaky. So I will jump right in and start with the first question of today. Julia_Larkin, when should you have your hair and makeup done if check-in is in the morning of? Should you do it before or after check-in? Honestly, I like to do it before. Some people do it after, but I like to be done and ready for check-in. That way I can just find my spot backstage, steal a plug, get close to a wall, closest to a plug so you can plug your phone in, anything else like that. I like to do it before. It's different, depends on what you're comfortable with. XDPC, what is your favorite Froyo topping and why are cheesecake bites so underrated? I don't know why they're so underrated. I actually have never put them on my Froyo before. Why are they underrated?
Not that.
Oh, I was like, what's my favorite Froyo topping?
The gummies, because you put them at the bottom and they freeze and they get hard and you like.
That's exactly right. And your favorite Froyo topping is the cookie dough.
Yes.
Yes, I got it. Abby_Marciano. Okay, so currently in the middle of prep with my boyfriend, and I know you've been there before too. And I'm sure you know there have been some grumpy, rough days. How do I keep him motivated even when he's cranky and yet keep myself motivated at the same time? You and Marcus have my heart, walls. This was mainly why I wanted him in the car. He handles dieting and prep, I think, better than I do, to be honest. What do you think?
A little bit.
Oh, okay. No, but...
No, you're good at it. I learned from you and pick up from you, but at the same time, I understand how you feel because I feel that way too, so I try to keep that in mind.
Yeah. I am really lucky because he really does go out of his way to make sure that I'm like focused and ready to go, and especially when he's not prepping too. So we've only been in prep 1.5 times together. We did a short mini prep in the middle of the summer, but he definitely keeps me motivated, and I think honestly, I don't know if this is true, but I think it motivates him too when he's in a positive mood, because it gets me there and it kind of helps pump him up. So if he's like, okay babe, like let's go do cardio, or like let's prep the food, let's go to the store, try to make like those little things fun, because you can do other things, like we're going out and doing other things, but it's just not the same. What do you think?
Yeah, and I try to distract you when I know you're having the rough days with stuff, and we will go to movies, or those like 4 Saturdays where we were just doing stuff randomly.
Yeah.
So yeah. I know that helps. But.
Yeah, it's tough when you're both hungry and like irritable, but you just have to try and make the best of it and try and excite him, and if you're in a good mood and you're excited, he most likely will be too. But good luck, the two of you. It really is fun and very rewarding to do it together. Don't let stress get in the way. Okay, Allie_Price. Do you hang out with other girls backstage and practice posing with them, or do you put your headphones in and keep to yourself to get in the zone? Most of the time, people like to kind of be in their zone and during prejudging, but
you can talk to other people. I'm like one of the more relaxed people backstage, surprisingly. And we just hang out. Remember we were at that New York show, and those girls were like they liked hanging out with us because we were just straight up chilling.
You always get people to share food with you. Everybody
People offer me food?
People always offer you cake.
I look hungry, don't I? People offer me cake. Yeah, I had at the Connecticut show. Rocky gave me
all those cookies.
Maybe we'll see Rocky today.
Yeah.
With those, what were they called?
They begin with the T. They're like chocolate and caramel.
So good.
I don't know.
Tim Tams.
Tim Tams, yeah.
Tim Tams. Oh, I want those. Yeah. I actually, and I also, I make friends backstage. I always like to do that. I always have extra eyelash, what the hell are they called? What are they called?
Makeup?
I'm very much a girl. Eyelashes, whatever. We'll call them eyelashes because that's what they are. And I give them away every show because someone forgets them. I think I gave Kaylee them at the Boston show.
I hang out with the same people. You and
we hang out.
Ross and Jimmy.
Yep.
And Mark.
Yeah, you'll meet friends. So like if you do a lot of shows in the area, you'll continue to do shows and you'll continue to see the same people. Yeah, you'll make a little fitness crew. And hi Julia, she's also another one of my prep clients. How do you deal with going through prep alone? My friends and family are supportive, just not prepping, and sometimes I feel annoying, rude if I can't eat what they're offering, need to get a workout in before hanging out, etc. So I think she's saying that friends and family are supportive. If they're not supportive, the best way to go about it is to sit down with them and say, you don't necessarily have to like what I'm doing, but I would just ask that you respect it. And if you go about it in a mature way and you just talk about how important it is to you, and you have a serious conversation, you can probably get them a little bit more on your side to say, it would really make make me feel a little bit better, and it would just be more comfortable if you could just let me do this and not always make comments. I think when people are so afraid to come out and say that and ask for that very low level of support, because that makes all the difference, having a good support system.
My close friends that I've grown up with accepted it right away, and they understand. Like, they didn't know how to react at first when they would go out to eat or dinner. They wouldn't be sure to invite me out or anything if I was prepping, but I explained that they can, and I can either track something there, or I have no problem with bringing my own food into the restaurant.
You should just, if someone loves you and if they care about you, if it makes you happy, then that should be enough. And if you have friends that aren't supportive, are they really your friends? And what is the reason they're not being supportive for? So you also have to think about it. Maybe you're a terrible witch on prep, and that's why your friends aren't supportive. So think about you as a person, and if it's something that you're doing wrong, maybe you need to fix your actions rather than blame someone else for being unsupportive. But I actually think that she asked, what about going through prep alone? Luckily, Julia, you're on a team of a bunch of people that prep. Connect with them. But that's the biggest thing, is that you just need to find like-minded individuals. And the bond on the internet is crazy. People who prep alone all the time have these relationships with people online, and it's weird, but it's the world that we live in. You can make it happen, and you can have a really good support system if you're online with friends and stuff like that.